You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you to tie them to the ground. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Set my sights on where I'm going at. They turn it back around. Can't stop me.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Psychic Coffee Shop. I'm Aeson Knight, and of course with me tonight is the Techie with the mostest, Techy Joe. How are you, darling?
I'm doing well. How are you this evening?
Halfway evil, totally crazy, and I don't know, just having a good time. It's been a weird day. I've been left to myself mostly.
I know. I had a bunch of time in the southern part of the state. And so you had that time, and then of course I came back and I was tired, and I swear to God, I don't know what it is, but I'm getting my best sleep anymore between like 5 p.m. and when the fuck ever. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like,
honey, welcome to the world of remote work. Welcome to the world of recreational lifestyle. And this is kind of an older article that has been on my let's talk about it list. And this is seeming to be the perfect night to talk about it. TikTok cameo.
All right.
Time and space doesn't exist in the spiritual world. Duh, I've been saying this for a while. This is part of my other part we're going to later, Aeson's Unpopular Spiritual Opinions. How psychics are embracing the remote work. Honey, we have paved the way and built the remote work space, okay? We live in remote zones. We are spiritually remote. But anyhow, take it away, Joe.
All right, for $15 plus a 75-cent processing fee. Wow, Hannah McIntyre is telling me my destiny. Quote, what I'm seeing here with you is this hitting a wall and needing to push through, needing to step up, McIntyre says as she looks over the 3 tarot cards she's drawn from her deck. The Page of Fire, Ace of Air, and Emperor. What deck is she using? There's also...
Tarot.
Do what now?
The Elemental Tarot.
Oh, there we go. There's also this information coming in here with these cards about exciting opportunities. So I again want to talk to you about being brave and volunteering for them. McIntyre is a spirit worker, a clairvoyant medium to be exact, and does her tarot readings out of a modern cozy home office. Beside her rests a shelf of tasteful crystal orbs. A whimsical spiral staircase snakes its way through one corner of the room, bathed in a warm purple glow. So yeah, she's based in the United Kingdom. The author of this story is in Washington, D.C., 5 time zones and 3,000 miles away. It'd be a long way to travel in person, but distance is no obstacle for spiritual energies or transoceanic internet cables. Gotta love that. Talk about connection, though, like, just side note. Like a lot of mediums she knows, McIntyre did the bulk of her consultations in person before COVID-19 lockdown swept the world in 2020. But now, with limited ability to host clients in her home, she's expanded her Facebook following 27-fold, taken a class on how to use Instagram more effectively, ramped up her use of Zoom, and even briefly experimented with TikTok, much to her kids' bemusement. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, her quote is, I'll just give it a go. I'll try and do a bit more online work because I have the time, she said in an interview.
Now, this is the things that psychics should be getting credit for, but we don't, is we built remote work. Like, click-to-call services, video conferencing. You know, this is how things get developed in the techie world.
Oh, absolutely. And hey, Brenda. Hey, Ashley. And thank you, Ashley.
Yes,
I got this for Christmas. I really love it. Yes, really love it. Now, here's the thing is, what do we know on Cameo, though? Because, like, that $15
there. I haven't played in Cameo yet. I'm going to have to explore that one because you know me, I like my fingers in many, many pies.
Well, yeah.
But you know, we done the office thing. I will never do an office again unless I own the office. When I mean own, I mean it's mine. I'm not sharing space with people again. Um, but
Well, this
remote
is
work, please. We've been doing remote work since fucking long distance bills were $600 a month.
Oh yeah. Well, and not to mention like a lot has changed though in that. And I will say I just found in the article where they have the fee cut. So Cameo takes 25%, which isn't bad industry wide.
No.
Like y'all don't even know. Well, you do know because you watch the show and you've heard us like go into the bemoanment of how much the difference is between, yeah, this is what you're paying as a client. Wait till you see what that network does to it. Because each network does take a cut. They've called it everything from platform fees to straight calling it what it is, a commission.
Right.
On that sale, because you are using their services, you are, you know, accessing what are fundamentally their clients originally. They brought them in. So you do pay a fee for that. 25% isn't bad. So that means on her $15, that's let's see, $2.50 plus $1.25, $3.75 on that $15 call, minus like another 75 cents. So that's
let's do a price comparison. Hello, store. Let me go here. Yes, I do offer a 3-card reading myself. Actually, I have a lot of 3-card readings, but let's go straight tarot.
Absolutely.
So my 3-card is $10, but that's straight from me. No platform fee, 2.9% credit card processing fee,
which is pennies. It's like a quarter.
Yeah, it's like a quarter. So yeah, we're within the same price average.
Yeah, it's not.
Maybe I need to look at Cameo.
Yeah, because they're still at about $10 to the reader. That's what I was saying. Is like when I see there's like low price points though.
Yeah,
it's like, ooh.
Well, and I made a TikTok about this earlier. Y'all, you know, Aeson's on TikTok. Go check out his TikTok. Follow him because he wants to get to 1,000 subscribers so he can go live, and he will do live readings there.
Yes. Yeah, you'll have so much fun with that. Like, because, I mean, hi, welcome to the show. It'll basically be, you know, this minus, like, news and me.
Right.
So if you really like Aeson more than me, you'll go follow him.
It'll be, you know, I'll schedule it live for about an hour, and I'll go and I'll do straight readings. Got to get me to 1,000 subscribers, guys. I'm at 375. Let's go.
Some of the best things, Joe.
So, you know, make sure to be hitting those hearts. Make sure to be hitting those follows, interacting with me everywhere. I know it's hard, but, you know, Aeson's everywhere. Aeson's trying to be everywhere. But Cameo, I don't know. But I done a TikTok this morning because I got my last call of the day hit me.
Okay,
and it hit me really, hitting some of Aeson's unpopular things to do in a reading. Client called me a couple weeks ago. No big deal. Done the reading. We were done in like 5 minutes. Had all their answers. Total map. Gone. Ready to go. Set to go and take care of boyfriend who was being a little pain in the ass and a whiny bitch. 2 weeks later, calls me back and I'm like, what's this moron pulled now? Because I'm sorry, there are some dudes that women date are just morons. This is one of them. Well, she called another psychic that an appointment fee was $300. I broke it up. It ain't that hard to do the math. And she told her the exact opposite to go and do. And she went and done it. So boy has hit the road. He packed his shit and said, bye. And I'm like, okay. So this is how you fix this pile of shit you've created. And this is what this reader does. She read every one of your fears and played off of them. And she goes, I know, but she was $300 and you're only $4 and $4.59 a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Like, here's the thing. And this is actually one of those like weird psychological things, is that when people spend a large amount of money for things, it's hard to have a moment in which like you call it shit. Like, it really is. It's this weird psychological thing. Like, if you pay, like, oh, where is it? Like, I have no problem, none whatsoever, sitting here and calling this shit.
Mm-hmm.
None. Why? Because it came from a dollar store.
Uh-huh.
I am not that emotionally invested. Like, he would be devastated because he bought it for me. But for me, sitting here and going, oh, this shitty fan, that old shitty thing, you know, we got it at a dollar store. It's $1. If he wants to go crazy, he'll go like probably buy the next level up of it, or probably even worse, for like, you know, 20 or 30 bucks. And then I'm going to be hard pressed to go, this is shit. Why? Because we just spent an order of magnitude more money on it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where a lot of people end up when they pay a premium. This is why anyone who takes those, make money, get rich quick scheme classes almost always say they were worth it, or they received something really valuable out of it, or will give rave reviews. Because what the fuck do you say after you spend $5,000, $50,000?
Well, it's like nobody understands why I hate Louis Vuittons. It is cheap plastic.
Yeah.
That's like, what Louis Vuittons are. They're cheap plastic. They are made out of plastic.
But they're culturally beloved cheap plastic. That's the problem. They charge a premium. Right. Who says it? If you spend the money to buy Louis Vuitton and then you realize that?
Yeah.
Like, you can't sit there and be like, oh, this cheap shit?
Yeah.
No, because it's not cheap. It's expensive as fuck.
Right. You take it out in the cold and it will crack and fall and break. Promise you.
I know, but then you have people like here. Let's work this out. People who spend like, $10,000, $15,000, even sometimes $20,000 on a vehicle. You can sit there and pan the ever loving fuck out of it. Do you know how few people pan the fuck out of a Mercedes G-Wagon, out of a Tesla, out of a, there's a number of vehicles that once you hit that 100K mark, not miles, but $100,000 for a vehicle, it's really hard to sit there and go, this is crap, this is crap, this is crap. Because the next part of that is, why am I so stupid to spend this much money for something that is imperfect, broken, or doesn't fit my needs? Like, we see that all the time. You can actually end up watching people, they'll just take this one bad decision and they will actually keep throwing money at it. I'm kind of surprised that she came back and, was capable of going, look, I spent $300 on this other reader and that was garbage.
Right.
That's a lot.
You've got viewer comments to read.
Oh, where am I at? So Brenda keeps hitting recommend. Ashley loves us both. Price does not always equal value. This is true. Well, and price, cost, and value are all different things. And that's something that I'm like, where the fuck was that lesson in high school? Can we just talk about some missing lessons from high school? But that's a side topic. And then Tracy says, I could never charge someone $300 for a reading, no matter how big of a douchebag the boyfriend is.
Oh, honey, that is low grade. Okay, that if we start looking at big names, that is low grade.
Frighteningly, like, and that's the scary part of it, is that sometimes what happens though is like, because we've had the conversation about Sylvia Brown and the fact that at one point she was charging like $800 a reading.
Right.
Like, well, this is a like 15 minutes.
About another one.
Okay.
John Edwards, $850 for a private reading.
Mm-hmm.
Up to 4 people may attend the same session. An additional $250 per person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And in a lot of ways, that comes down to how high can I go before my workload becomes reasonable.
Well, exactly.
Fundamentally, that's where we ended up. Is how high does my price have to go so I can strike a balance?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that there is a problem of celebrity. That if you get superstar status, there are people that like are not going to blink a bit.
Yeah.
Like, you're naming off John Edwards. I'm naming off Sylvia Brown. These are people that, you know, have made great impressions across, you know, the world through television.
Yeah.
They have their own celebrity status.
Well, not even a celebrity. We'll look at Chris Dufresne. He's a good psychic, but he gained his status by being Sylvia's son. A year-round reading is $1,899. An hour call with him is $445. He reads good. I'll give him that. I can do just the same, but I don't do that. Now, yeah, the reason you see my prices on networks as high as they are is, one, the network forces me to. 2,
partly. Well, okay. And then the other side of it is what the network charges.
Well, what the network charges. But the other part of that is I can sign on, and I'm expecting one of these lovely emails here anytime because I've been at the $4.99 mark for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm stacked. And I love a good stacked night. We optimize for my stacking.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying and what the fuck moment is. Guys, I really don't care what other readers say. But don't go fucking your life up because someone paid a large sum of money.
It does. And yeah, Brenda comes in with, things are only worth what someone is willing to spend. Once someone's self-esteem is tied to it to impress others, then they will think it's worth it. And see, that doesn't even get into value.
Right.
Like, like, we don't actually really typically get taught these words until college. Like, they're tiny words you think you know the definition of. And if you think that any of them are interchangeable, price, cost, value, and worth, they are not. They are tiny words that have huge differences in meaning.
Right.
Like, something's worth can be priceless.
Right.
Like, you cannot estimate a worth. There is no way to replace this. It has no worth, but its value has a price tag. Let me tell you right now, if you ever insure, like, if you were to ever get in a situation in which you had to insure something that was priceless, it has a number. There is a maximum value that insurance company will give you.
Yeah, there is a price to it. There's a price of doing business, and I take that price very seriously.
Well, that's a cost.
Yeah, but there's a price of doing business. And this is the lesson Joe taught me, because I used to try to keep that cost of doing business as low as possible. And I was like, no, that doesn't work anymore because it's actually costing me more. My cell phone package costs a price, my booking software costs a price, my laptop's cost a price, our bills cost a price, my business bills cost a price. All that does go into my fee. But at the same time, there's a type of client that's for me. And I match what that client is going to, because there's a level of client, and they are known as my Jerry Springer clients. There are days I cannot take a Jerry Springer client. And when I say that, I give you an example. I had a client call me because she took a chainsaw to her boyfriend's door and wanted to know if he was coming back.
By the way, if that client is watching, hi.
Like, I hope you married with a new man, and she probably don't even remember she done it.
Hey, but if you're watching, hey, feel free to leave some comments. Hopefully all good ones, and that you don't know our address. I'm sorry. I don't care if she is a satisfied client or not. Clients who use chainsaws are not welcome.
Yes, they are. I love me a lumberjack client. We can discuss timber prices. We can discuss what his wife does.
If you professionally use a chainsaw, that's one thing. But if your reaction to ugly situations is, chainsaw, I don't want to be fucking with that. Like, I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay? No.
Yeah.
No. Does a sawzall count? No. And, well, not necessarily. I mean, it's how you use it. It's how you use it.
You're right. Well, it's like it's taken me years to say burn his shit, because I've had clients that actually would burn his shit. Like the whole damn house down.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Waiting to exhale didn't help the world a lot, because I know we've all been that woman. Like, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's a movie you need to see. Like, we have all been there when you were just so sick of someone's shit.
And Tracy, yes, I do think they know their Jerry Springer clients, because they'll call me and the first words out of their mouth is, and they know that I have the opinion of their Jerry Springers. We're getting ready to talk about some shit, or I am sorry things are so messy. Let's get me out of this. And that's normally my point to start working people into a happy, productive, enjoyable life, getting you through issues and problems. I am not the controller of your life. If you choose to go and spend $900 with another psychic, and then you go home and accuse your husband who's been working 8 hours a week that he's having an affair and run him out of the house, we got some work to do.
Well, and moreover, it's not that they as a human are Jerry Springer clients. Like, I guess that's the bigger clarification from what I just heard, is what they really are people who have found themselves in a situation that ought to be on Jerry Springer. It sounds Jerry Springer. And they're sitting there going, no, get me out of this trailer park. Get me out of this batshit crazy cycle. I'm done. No, see. And Hot Mess Express, like, tore up from the floor up, Hot Mess Express.
Right, and people get through that. They get into these, especially if you've come into this life path as an explorer. Honey, you should have packed, what are those big, long boot thingies that you wear into the swampland? You should have packed them in your now life plan to buy sets of them.
Your waders.
Through this mess. Waders.
Your hip waders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think Explorer at this point in time in history is probably a bad life path choice.
Right.
Because there's some shit out there. Like, that's what we have right now. You want to go exploring in the depths of humanity. We ain't talking about, like, Egypt and Cairo and, great discoveries of the ancient world.
Right.
That's not where we're at right now. in history.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of what we're doing anymore. And it's a little too soon to be, exploring amongst the stars. Like, you timed it wrong, is where I'm at.
On this political time frame, but
Yeah.
there are those souls that have come in to learn valuable lessons, those souls that want to be the explorer, to want to go and figure out what's this cheating thing, and what's this jealousy thing, and what's this problematical thing out of health, and oh, I think I want to take on psycho husband and father who does not appreciate me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's just this is shit that happens.
Right.
Like, funny, it's that How I Met Your Mother concept as it should have been a television show.
Right.
It should have been a whole lot messier.
Right.
That's my biggest problem with How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
By the way, as a television show, is it's a little more. Granted, I think the show just kind of got trapped in we want to keep the big name stars on air as much as possible. Versus let's tell a story that actually adequately reflects someone's life experience on a complicated path to meet someone, which is more so, I think, Sex
Real life.
No. Different show that's out right now is Sex Life.
Okay.
That shit's complicated.
Right.
Like, you want to talk about your relationship status it's complicated. Sex Life, that's basically doing that right now.
Right.
That one is so super messy.
Okay.
Like, it's really honestly messy. There's a string of people. There's two main ones, but it's
okay.
Yeah. Part of it is like that guy you dated. Like, everyone has one, or that girl you dated, or that person you dated, however you need to express someone's gender identity. That person you dated that is toxically bad. You know they're bad. They are so horribly bad. They have fucked up so many layers. Like, it's just an onion of fucked.
Right.
But emotionally, there was a connection, and there is a drug-like addictiveness.
Right.
That you just, no matter how hard you try, you know they're bad, they are bad, you can define them as bad, you can write them as bad, you know the bad. There's still the thing.
Right.
That just moth to flame, you feel compelled to just, like, upend your world for this train wreck.
Right.
You know the train wreck's coming. And no matter how many times you fuck this up, like, you can go from a happy, stable thing, and then they walk in the door, and your life goes into chaos.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So they now have a How I Met Your Father now with Hilary Duff. Granted, two things about Aeson. One, I'm not a TV watcher. Two, I don't know who the hell Hilary Duff is. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and Tracy's like, it's so common.
It is. It is.
It is.
All right. So, unpopular opinion, no matter what the psychic price is, fucking let it make sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't go and do it. Also, don't psychic shop. Aeson gives not a fuck what another psychic says. Even some of my best friend psychics, I don't give a damn what they say. Go get a reading from Lady Gwen. She's a wonderful reader. She does well. I've watched her grow and build her practice. She's amazing. But don't come to me and say, well, Gwen said he was cheating.
No, stop right there.
No. Stop right there. I don't care what Gwen says. You're paying me for a reading. You're going to get what I see. And what I see is, he's talking to people. If you don't like that, buy him a ball gag with a padlock.
Yeah. Well, moreover, it's you're wasting time and breath telling one reader what another reader said.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially you're playing, this weird test the reader game.
Uh-huh.
And you can actually make things worse because there are less confident readers
Mm-hmm.
that are going to take in that information
Mm-hmm.
and are going to now have a filtering lens for what they're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to try to struggle through that.
Right.
Versus if they come in, so to speak, cold, as in they don't have that, they're going to tell you what they see, and that's all there is.
Right.
Now, and that now really good readers have been like, yep, heard that story, not playing that game.
Right.
That's cute. That's their reading. I'm not going to say it's wrong. I'm not going to say it's right. I'm just going to tell you what I see.
Right.
And now, you choose.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're a client. You get to choose what you do.
Mm-hmm.
This is my reading.
Exactly what you're doing in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to Google Maps and having it pick your route. Then you're going to go over to MapQuest and you're going to have it pick your route. Then you're going to go over to Yahoo Maps and have it pick your route. And then you get to choose which route you take. Totally up to you. Now, Google Maps may be off by 100 miles and have you going through bumfucked Egypt.
But it may be a very beautiful scenic road.
Exactly. MapQuest may be having you going straight interstate. You're there an hour ahead of time, but you didn't get to see the scenic road. And Yahoo Maps may be taking you all the way across the country. Like you can freaking write down you could start a travel vlog and finish it when your memory clip fills up.
Well, yeah. Well, if you like going to places that aren't actually useful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I found that usually if you get on a route that is that fucking long, it's like a, grand tour of disappointing destinations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying,
I know. Exactly.
MapQuest, now, more than Yahoo, MapQuest used to pull that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Of taking you through, and I don't know what it was geared for. Someone needs to explain that algorithm to me. But it was the world's worst for taking you through the most yeah, you can get there from here, but why the fuck would you want to? There is nothing to see. There's nothing to do. Mm-hmm. This is a road of disappointments.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one disappointing thing after another.
Mm-hmm.
That is not anything anyone needed to ever experience. Yeah, you can get there from here.
Yeah. And another unpopular psychic opinion. Mm-hmm. Not all psychics are created equally.
Nope.
Realize that. We are not widgets. Hello, networks. No. If you're watching, we are not widgets. Stop trying to plug us in as widgets. I don't do general readings. You better have at least an idea of what you want to talk about when you get here. Otherwise, you're going to get a general reading, and it may take you 4 hours to figure out, oh, shit, that's what he's talking about. Because general readings are very general. They are for appointment bookings, and you tell me up front you want a general reading, because I'm going to say, all right, here you go. And I'm going to do a very nice, long, multi-deck reading for you. And you're going to come away with a lot of notes that you're going to have to go and figure out what the hell I'm talking about. Because general is very general. I think that you should talk to your boss about a position change. I think that you and your husband have communicational issues and do not focus on themselves. Looking here, also, I feel like you and your mother-in-law are way too comfortable with each other, and there's some boundary. It's all over the damn place. It's like walking into Walmart and going, I need groceries, Walmart. What would you like to give me? Subscription boxes. That's exactly what a general reading is, a subscription box. It may not fit your skin tone.
Well, well, moreover, it's not going to it is an assortment of
Mm-hmm.
different information
Mm-hmm.
that may or may not be shit you care about.
Right.
And it may have varying levels of value in your life. That's tying it back into our cost, price, value, and worth.
Yes.
The value of something, there's a lot of different ways to describe value, and some of them are differential. Some of them are comparative. Some of them are, our own sense of value, and what we actually want. Like, the world's greatest book for how to parent your child
by
that
Dr.
is
Spock.
Hold on. Without naming an author, without there being.
I'll call his ass out. He's keeping therapists in business for years now.
I know. Well, but what I'm saying is there is a possibility of a book that has 100% right answers on how to raise a child that would create the most perfect child ever.
Right.
Perfectly balanced, perfectly intelligent, perfectly everything. You could find that book. You could have that book. But if you're not a parent, if you don't have children, and you just set that book on a shelf, what is its value in your life?
Right.
What have you done with that book? What is the use of that book? And I think some advice that can come out of a general reading is going to be like, well, that's nice. I don't really care.
Right.
That, oh, and by the way, you need to, if you were to tell a client, you need to be spending less time in the sun or more money on sunblock, or you're going to end up with cancer in 50 years. That's what I see in your general reading is you're already,
Yes.
I know, but I'm saying, I'm just trying to give a for instance. I know that's not a good one, but you get what I'm saying. Like, what's the value of that?
All right. Now let's go into a few other things that aggravates Aeson.
Yes.
Narcissistics. Everybody is not a damn narcissist. Everyone is not a damn sociopath because they don't respond to your behavior.
Yeah. Toxic gets thrown around a lot. Can we talk about that? Like, there's an overuse of the word toxic.
Yes. Toxic gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
Being self-centered little ass does not make them a narcissist nor a sociopath.
No. Sometimes it's just where people are.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's not okay for you.
Right.
That's not who you need to be with. They're not vibing well with you. That's okay. But not every person that has toxic, and there's another thing that I've seen that I really think needs more attention is also the toxic traits do not create, do not a toxic person mean.
Right.
So everyone has toxic traits.
Right. But no, let's look at this draws me crazy. All right. One of the latest articles out from Healthline Mental Health is, am I dating a narcissist? No, a narcissist is a personality disorder. Inflated sense of importance. Well, I don't know. If you're dating someone, they're going to have a sense of importance in their life. A deep need to express attention and admiration. Gee, shouldn't that be occurring in most relationships? A lack of empathy for others. Where if you tell me 500 times how something is terrible for you, I don't have empathy much longer about it. If you're complaining every day about your boss, I can't react every day about your boss, how terrible they are. Often having trouble in relationships. Gee, show me a relationship that doesn't have trouble and I will show you two psychopaths dating each other.
or two of the most boring human beings on planet Earth.
Earth. Exactly. Okay.
I mean,
those are general ideas. Yeah, those are current buzzwords. The other one is soulmates, and that aggravates the living shit out of me.
yeah,
Everyone, the idea you have only one soulmate. Yeah, if this is your first damn life down here, you have one soulmate.
Well, and even that, I would think, would be a little bit like. I mean, and what's the. Oh, see, I have so many problems with the word soulmate. That just assumes so many fucking things.
Okay.
And I'm like, talk about truly unpopular opinions in psychic community, I'm sure. Really? Soulmate? You have to find them? Like, do you have to? Like, what if your soulmate is like the human equivalent of Jabba the Hutt?
This life.
And you know what I mean? And you're just like, no, see, what I want is this. Like, yeah, it's going to be a rocky road. Yeah, I'm probably going to pay for this karmatically or whatever. But fuck that static. Like, I'm hot.
Well, and it's this whole thing of an idea, and I'm going to put it to you this way. I remember this marketing discussion very early in my career. I got invited into some marketing meetings for a brand new service that was going to work. And it did. It made a lot of money. And that's when soulmates became a thing, and how you could have only one, and that's not how it works. It really should have been called Soul Relationship Group, because if you're on more than 3 lives, think about it over your lifetime. Okay, apparently I sent a book that went with twin flame ideas too. And twin flames is just a secondary marketing term, guys. Okay. So I want you to look back on your life, and you've had people in your life your whole life. Y'all guys have not had the same vacations. You might want to go to Vegas. They might want to go to Toledo. That's what soulmates are. Joe decided he'd come down here this plane. He decided he wanted to do caregiving, blah, blah, blah. He's going to learn empathy. And oh, by the way, he thinks he'll get into technology because he wants to understand the connective tissue of this. And he wants to understand what love feels like. And maybe he wanted to figure out what this whole empathy for others are. Because that principle really doesn't apply in the other world. So he schedules that. And it's like, oh, yeah, I don't want that trip. You can go be a horse thief on your own. I'm going to stay up here, and I'll come down during the Civil War and figure out how to make people better.
Side note, on my life path choices next time, I'm choosing totally different answers.
Yes. But remember, I'm convinced you get drunk when you schedule your life. Like, they have wine up there. I'm thinking they pull out the good shit for meeting with the council and deciding what you want to take in your next semester of Earth.
Yeah, like, I guess next time I'll be like, well, 1, I learned not to do this drunk. And 2, what do you have with I'm sorry, the smaller yacht is in the shop. We'll have to take the big one.
Right.
Like, what do you have that lets me say that sentence?
Right. But
a few times.
Right. But people get really confused that there's this absolute one. No, there isn't. There's no absolute one soulmate. There are options of people you can work with to learn those lessons. Let's say that you're working on a humanitarian path, which I see a lot going on now. We have humanitarian path work going on, and people learning to have to work in joint situations and communicate and raise the vibration of humanity. We hear a lot of authors come on the show talking about this, but it's actually occurring. And I've seen this path, and they will be in weird positions in their life, and I'll be like, you chose this. You scheduled to be a humanitarian this life. So this is the shit you get. You get to learn the hard emotional barriers. You get to deal with the childhood traumas. You get to figure out what being a real humanitarian is. It's like being an explorer. You get to try a lot of different shit. Being a humanitarian, you get to focus on what's better for you and group activities and learning those focuses. And every time they will go, but who's my soulmate? Which one do you want? You got a stable of 13. Who did you schedule down this lifetime?
Yeah. Well, and then I think for other people, it's like, do you really want that answered? Like, do you want to find out right now at like age 25 that you're not going to actually be in that kind of relationship until you're like 75, and then you are going to die like 5 years later? Like, do you want to know that?
Well,
like, or are you more interested?
Yeah, that's because they're looking for that forever relationship, and there is forever relationships there, but they're options. You plan, the universe has the Boy Scout method of methodology, because if your soulmate decides he's not going to college.
Well, but here's my thing though, is I think there's got to be an impetus, and this might be ugly psychic secrets no one wants to talk about, is when a client answers that, do you actually honestly like go there? Or do you actually hold on? There's options here. In terms of, do you just go there? Like, if that's where this is going to come out at, is, well, you don't meet that person until you're 75.
Right.
You got 50 some years to just be until then. Do you go there, or do you go into, but here's the people you need to meet along the way so you actually appreciate that person when you are 75, and it is not just, well, it took you long enough.
No, it's more so, okay, which soulmate you want to look for? You have 10 that you have formed soulmate contracts with. Your next one's coming up in 3 months. I've literally never met somebody that only schedules one soulmate that is going to be way into the future. Never.
Okay. I'm just saying, if you actually ran into that one person, statistically, there has to be one.
Go fuck off. You ain't meeting them till 75 is when you meet your soulmate. You'll get 5 years with them. In between then, however, you have to learn how to have a good self-image. You have to learn what real love is. You scheduled yourself down here to find out what physical pleasure is. So these are all the experiences you've got to get there.
Yeah. So you do a combo. Like, here's the reality. And then here's the thing.
Right.
That you actually need to focus on. Like, this was your question. And that doesn't, that's going to be a really deflating answer. You've got 50 some years on this planet before you meet them, and you get 5 years.
Right.
Sounds horrible. But in between there, these are the things you also need to do. Okay. There. I was curious. So that, like, when you get there, because otherwise you could just have someone that goes, okay, well, I'm not going to meet them for 50 years. I'm just going to go get 2 cats and a knitting hobby and wait this shit out.
But then they still wouldn't meet them because they haven't done the steps to get there.
True.
Okay.
True. These are things that I know, like, mentally, like, working that one out, you would have clients that if you told them the truth, like, if it were that scenario, it's like, look, you ain't meeting this person for 50 some years. I'm sure they would just go, adopt every cat possible and, like, just sit at home for 50 years.
Yes.
And be like, I just have to wait. Like, it's fucking, go to your bunker and wait.
Right.
But
that's not the full answer to the question.
Right.
The full answer to the question is you've got to go through this to get there. It's like, another scenario I get often is, when will I get my next job? Okay. I can tell you in 6 weeks you're getting a job offer, but it'll take about 9 for you to get that job. Okay. And that's what I tell you. And then I tell you, you need to keep applying all the way through this process. You need to keep that energy moving. If you sit on your ass and watch Oprah on whatever station her replays are on and eat bonbons for 6 weeks, don't come back to me and complain. Well, I didn't get the job. Did you put your resumes in? No.
Well, yeah. And part of that is, and I know that's going to be a hard, sticky one.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, okay, if you know that there's a job, and if you can see that job,
Mm-hmm.
and if you could even see what the company is,
Mm-hmm.
like just going on a, like, what I would expect, or what I think some people expect a psychic reading would be,
Mm-hmm.
is if you can see me in the job, if you can see the place I'm working at, if you can happen to catch a logo, then it sounds like a quick, easy shortcut of, so what's that place?
Right.
I'll apply to it, fuck the hell off for, 6 weeks
Mm-hmm.
until they call me for an interview,
Mm-hmm.
and then go do that.
Right.
And it's like, but see, here's the thing.
Right. Well, and that it's very, all right. Can I see the place you work at? Yes, but I can see it from the observer perspective. I see you working in a gray building. I see you working on a white desk with blue-gray walls around you. And there's a computer and there are notepads, and I can see you processing, filing information. And I know it's a government building. Okay, that's cute. How useful is that?
Well, and especially given that this is, like, gotta love the purchasing power of government. They buy everything in bulk.
Well, companies buy everything in bulk. And they have this theory that every workplace should be the same.
Right.
Okay. Offices buy things, companies buy things in bulk. If you go into Chase in Nevada data center and you go into Chase Columbus's data center, the cube is the same. The keyboard is the same. The mouse is the same. Doesn't help me. It's not like they have one graphic logo. It says Toledo or Nevada.
Yeah. Well, but then there's also just the general aspect of who are you if you are not doing all these other things that create the opportunity for you to be the best candidate for this job, for you to appreciate the offer that may not be exactly what you want when you get it. If you've applied for one job, fucked off for 6 weeks, and then you go for the interview and it's like, but Aeson, you said they would end up paying me, like, a shit ton of money and it would be a great job, and they offered me fucking janitorial. And, like, dude, of course I told him to fuck off, and your advice is crap. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. You listened to what I said. You did none of it except for the apply to this job and fuck off for 6 weeks.
Right.
What you missed was all the other things that you needed to be doing that were normal I am seeking a job behaviors. And, this isn't the chunky version of clairvoyance is, and as you've described it, it's like scrubbing through video of someone's life experience related to a single subject. And it's not always perfect. No. It's not always clear. It's not always something that tells you all the tiny, tiny, tiny detail that you would need to link it all together. Like, if you've sat there, applied for one job, fucked off for 6 weeks, and you get a call from the place that Aeson tells you to go apply at, because that's like, if you did, that you go to apply to that one specific company for one specific job, and their fucking HR person calls you and offers you, like, this way beneath your level of skill, experience, salary, everything job. And one, you're like instantly mad at him. And two, you're also dealing with the fuck I just heard.
Mm-hmm.
You offered me janitorial?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I would like I couldn't imagine the moment where if like honestly if a recruiter, if a business called me out of the blue right now and said, hey, we've got this really great janitorial opportunity for you, fuck off, I'm running a business. Like, like
Right.
I don't know how you got my number or who the hell you think I am, but fuck right off. Versus if there is something along that path of applying to multiple jobs that is going to put you in a position in which you take that phone call differently and you go, and you're able to professionally go, I'm really confused right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I appreciate the job offer, but I don't think you have the right candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very confused. Are you sure you're looking at the right information?
Right.
And that HR person goes, oh my God. Oh my God. There were two of you with similar names.
Or what I've had happen.
Swapped you around.
Right. What I've had happen is something different. And what it is they're hiring, like I'm seeing massive hiring by Amazon right now. And their recruiters just have literally stacks of job applications and stacks of jobs in your file because they're still in paperwork mode. Amazingly, that Amazon is still paperwork based. Your file got stuck on the wrong stack. Call them back. And I've said this to clients. Call them back and tell them what you're actually looking for. You might actually be surprised. But the other part of that is there's other other information. Like if I tell you you're getting a job and it's going to take you 6 months to adjust to this job because you've got to figure out the personalities you're working with. Don't call me 3 months in and go, I hate this job. These people are terrible. Well, do call me and we'll work through the terribleness. But don't automatically assume I'm wrong because you're not listening to the next part of that.
Right. It's going to be an adjustment. And what we mean by adjustment is you're going to have a 6-month rocky start and it's going to make you want to quit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played with like actually just straight up saying that? Not that it's going to be an adjustment, but like, look, you're going to start this job. It's going to suck ass.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to walk in every fucking day for like 6 months and be like, I'm going to quit. Aeson is stupid. I don't know why the fuck he told me to get this job. I'm ready to fuck right out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, accept it, embrace it, move on, struggle through.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 6-month ow. This fucking hurts. I don't like this. I'm getting my ass kicked every fucking day. I hate it.
Right.
And then becomes the job you're looking for.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I grew up with a thing, and I honestly think I don't know why it's not a T-shirt.
We're designing T-shirts so it can become a T-shirt.
I know I can make it a T-shirt, but like this was the thing I grew up with: is you can do anything if you know for how long you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is that if it is a time and like if you can put a time and a date on it that it will end, you can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
What often stops us is and this is going to go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that there's the seemingly no end point.
Mm-hmm.
Like that seems impossible. That is soul crushing. That is just mentally defeating. Mm-hmm. When you think this is like when you enter or are in a situation that seems like it's never going to change.
Mm-hmm.
That there is no light at the end of this tunnel. It's just this tunnel forever.
Right.
But if you know it's going to end, you know exactly how long this tunnel is, or you have at least a close approximation.
Right.
You can put up with or deal with or get around or whatever, power your way through that tunnel until you get out of it.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people, like, fundamentally, and I don't know if when I was told this, because this was a dad moment, like, as much as, like, I have problems with my dad, he had many problems as a human. I will say there are some, like, thoughts he had over the years that really do serve you well. Like, it's, but that was one of them, is you can do anything for a definitive amount of time. If someone tells you, look, for 1 year, you have to do this. It's like those damn posts. For 1 year, you can only do this, but you get your dream home at the end of it, and your life is perfect. You could do anything if you know that this is 1 year. 1 year, baby. 1 year is all you have to do. You could go to prison. You could clean up Chernobyl. You could do whatever. If you knew at the end of that 1 year, everything was going to be good. Everything you want, you're going to get. And it's not a trick. There's no, like, weird, funky, like, gotcha. Pull the rug out from under you at the last second. Like, you only get to enjoy it for 10 minutes. It's not like that.
Right.
You can do anything.
Right.
If you know for how long.
Right.
I think, I don't know how, like, trying to compress that, though, into how do you put that on a t-shirt?
Right.
Like, that you can do anything if you know how long you have to do it for.
Right.
You can survive.
I think it's just that. You can do anything as long as you know how long you want to do it for. The other thing, there are some things that people have to learn to accept. If you want a rich, successful man, he is not going to be blowing your damn phone up every 5 minutes.
No. And if you want someone that is in constant, never-ending contact, is your emotional support human, you better be willing to support their ass.
Exactly.
Because it's, like, being an emotional support human isn't a job. It does not allow for employment. You cannot be a successful, in business, emotional support human.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, if you need someone that is constantly available to tell you you're pretty and, whisper sweet nothings in your ear, that's a fucking full-time job. And, no, they're not a failure. Because they don't also come with a 6-figure salary and, everything else.
Right.
Like,
the other page of this, and there's other ones you have to learn to realize. If you like an attractive person, male or female, people are going to talk to them. People are going to comment to them. People are going to make propositions to them. So either go get you someone that fell off the ugly stick, or get used to that, yeah, that's the way it is, or put them in a burqa. Male or female, don't care.
Well, and then here's the really unpopular opinion. Define attractive and unattractive. Because everyone is attractive to someone.
Right.
Like, no matter what you do, for any number of reasons. Like, you can be butt ugly and have, all the money in the world. That's going to attract people that will gladly tell you you are cute.
Right.
Your bank account is very attractive.
Right. But at the same time, that's going to happen. Okay? That is going to happen. There are people, and you come question me, is he talking to other women? The answer, and I had to redefine this answer to my spirit guide because he's like, they are 62% of your planet. There, and y'all guys don't keep them in the kitchen or the house anymore. Of course, he's having to talk to other women
all day long, everywhere,
all day long, at Walmart, at the grocery store, at the convenience store,
booth,
at work. How dare them be at work? Doesn't mean he's going to go fuck them.
Yeah, define talk. Like, how do you mean talk? Like, what level of talk makes you uncomfortable? What level of flirting makes you uncomfortable? Like,
exactly.
There's a certain amount of, like, let's be real. There's a certain amount of flirting that goes into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you alive? Do you have a pulse? There is a certain level.
Well, there's a certain level of human behavior that is naturally flirting. Naturally flirting occurs. And women, don't you be looking over at me going, oh, I don't flirt with any bullshit. You smile at people. You shake your head. You don't even notice this because it's a bioreactive thing. And then you have cultural flirting that's built in. A Southern man will flirt his ass off all day long. Now, he'll go take his happy little ass home to his wife, but he'll flirt his ass all over. That's part of Southern culture. You'll also notice in their conversational style, they are Superman. Every story is about Superman. How they saved this woman today. How they done this. How they done that.
And it's fine. Like, It's not necessarily bad. And, like, there are some things that just you do because you are, like, let's break down flirting. Flirting is not necessarily sexual at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think flirting in and of itself is necessarily sexual. No, it is not.
We are, you are the same. You are enjoyable. You are conversational. You are like me. You seem like me. You seem like this. And our bodies naturally do it. Tossing, like, I can always tell a woman that's trying to explain something to a man and she's having to mansplain it. She will toss her hair and smile. It is a natural human behavior.
Yeah.
So we're back to putting them in burkas.
Moreover, it's not that they're having to mansplain it as much as they're having to, like, the gateway human that can provide you what you need is someone that you need to make want to help you. Like, the whole world is manipulative. Like, there's a very small group of people who suffer greatly in life because they are unable, generally speaking, to be intellectually dishonest. And they struggle, let me tell you. And I do have to say a fair number of women in my family meet this definition. The struggle is real for them to sit there and play the dumb blonde, pop a couple of buttons and, flirt to get this dumb Neanderthal man to give me the fucking thing I need and us not get into an argument that ends with him calling me a fucking cunt. Like, it's a struggle for some of the women in my family to seriously just, like, their brain is not wired for this. It really isn't. It is, it just, ugh.
Right.
When they have to do it.
Right.
There are other, and then there are some of, I've seen it the other way. Some people are wired for it, whether they need to do it or not.
Right.
They will do it and do it flawlessly, and you will never even know they did it. But, like, it's a thing. And it's not just a man thing.
No.
Or it's not just a women doing this to men thing. It works the other way as well.
And it naturally hits with men. Like, I have been accused of it. and it happens. But it's natural. It's part of it's why you got into a relationship with them. Don't be trying to change them. Realize where the loyalty lies. Is he loyal? Yes. That's all you really care about. The rest of the shit that your jealousy monster is feeding you is jealousy. Mm-hmm. It's a self-preserving thing. It goes back to the days where Specimen B took a club and knocked Specimen C in the head and drug Specimen C to the cave and bricked it up. It's natural human behavior. Get over
on some levels. It's kind of in that vein, but also that's you can, since we developed the ability to speak and communicate, mm-hmm. and it became really bad to smack someone in the head with a club and drag them back to the cave for as a conquest. Since that became bad, mm-hmm. because we developed language and the ability to talk to people, mm-hmm. It is functionally the emotional version of it. Uh-huh. It really truly is. Like you exchange the clubs for a variety of words, topics, and conversation. Mm-hmm. All functionally do the same thing. You are looking to hit someone in the head, mm-hmm. so you can drag them back to the cave. Now, it's a lot nicer than that, mm-hmm. hopefully. Right. But fundamentally, it's the same theory, right? That you're employing, right? Is you are using words to hit someone in their head, mm-hmm. so that you can get them to do what you would like, mm-hmm. Willingly, mm-hmm. so you don't have to go through the physical effort of carrying them. Mm-hmm. They have 2 legs; they can walk. Mm-hmm. They have a wheelchair; they can roll. Mm-hmm. They have a sip and puff wheelchair; they can blow. I mean, right? But here's the other thing. Right, and and I'm dropping topics, but realize who you're dating, and I'm not talking their age; I'm talking their capabilities. When I'm saying that, example, if you're dating someone that was born in the 80s, they were taught. You talk on Monday, you talk on Wednesday, you make plans for Friday. That doesn't mean they're going to blow your damn phone up. Yeah. All day long. They are not used to constant contact. Oh, I'm sorry, Ashley. Most people don't do that, and it amazes me. Realize that who they're dating. Well, yeah. Well, and that's another thing that, it's a crunchy one. And you've run into that with clients, because I know you've gotten off those calls, what the fuck is wrong with them? And it goes both ways. We talk about it a lot for women, but it also happens with men. Mm-hmm. I don't know what mental damage, movies like Pretty Woman have done to people, mm-hmm. but this idea that you can take someone who has 0 of the things, or has a very low number of things that you want in a partner, mm-hmm. and the idea that you're going to work some Disney movie magic on them, mm-hmm. also known as control, manipulation, and everything else, and get them to magically become, mm-hmm. That Eliza Doolittle transformation there. Right. You're going to magically make them everything you want them to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't work. No. This isn't going to, Hobby Lobby and buying a man, and the man is and I don't mean this racially, but I mean, let's talk about Hobby Lobby products. It is not like going to Hobby Lobby and finding something that is the wrong size, the wrong shape, the wrong color, and the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. And you can make it better. Right. You can strip off all the adornments. You can repaint it. You can, sand it down and reshape it and cut it and make it the thing that you want. That's not how humans work.
No.
Like, you're not, like, it doesn't work. Talk to people who have tried this. Do you know what they end up being? Angry, depressed, and sad.
Right.
Because they can't find what they're looking for.
Well, and I'm going to throw it this way also. In relationships, partners do things that drive the other one mad. You have to decide the madness. Here's a simple example. It drives me insane when he acts like a single man and eats over top of my sink. I have been cajoling and criticizing and joking and pointing and picking and even setting his dinner out for him for 5 years to break this habit. He
Not
will
gonna
still
happen.
Go and do it.
Yep. If anything, I feel like I need to
right back.
And I've effectively become to the point that I'm ready to take selfies while I do it, just to be like, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, U.
But at the same time, I will go into my office and forget the world exists. I will not have my social media up. I will be working on something. And he used to like get a little nervous about, oh God, you're mad. What did I do wrong? Nothing. Go away. I'm not mad.
Yeah, because that helps.
Yeah. I'm busy.
Yeah. Well, and it happens. Like, we all have those things that it's like, I'm not mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not this other thing. I'm not, you know, or just flat out, I'm not that person. Like, if if it is really, like, it's also deciding value, like, welcome back to that word again, of like, what is the value of that behavior to you? Like, how important is it? What does it, you know, like, if it's a deal breaker, if it's truly a deal breaker, like, we're talking about, I eat over the kitchen sink and it drives him nuts. And it really does. Like, no joke. It drives him crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. Sorry, don't care. Is where I'm at with it. Is like, no, this is the thing that I do. It's like breathing, and, you know, whatever. I do this. You know, I can sit here and establish all my reasons, none of which matter to him at all at this point.
He is acting like a single man.
Well, but
a poorly cared for single man.
The reality is, like, if this is like the thing that makes you the craziest about me in a relationship, identify with the fact that, you know, it could be worse.
Yes, but you have to decide.
It could be a lot worse.
And I always say this in all relationships. You have to decide, can you live with it in 30 years? In 30 years, I ain't going to give a damn where he eats, just as long as he damn well eats and remembers my name. And that's my bar for him. In 30 years, is it going to matter that I go to my office for 6 hours and I don't talk to anybody? I don't talk to clients. I don't talk to him. I don't want to talk to the dog. And I get annoyed when I'm bothered by any of them.
And it's like, okay, whatever. You know, try to use it to my advantage and go, okay, so awesome. I can work. You know, I can just sit down and do this thing and, like, yeah, whatever.
Or go read a book.
Yeah. You know, what ifs?
You know, since you don't get to read enough books.
More importantly, he is occupied. He is not going to be coming out of that office anytime soon. As long as I can keep it quiet, I could have a fucking conga line going around this house. He ain't coming out.
No.
I could do nude interpretive dance. As long as he doesn't catch a glance of it, he ain't coming out. And even if he did, he might not come out. He might be like, well, why don't you do that more? But anyway, I can do anything I want because he's locked in. Yeah. He ain't coming out for nothing unless it interrupts him.
Yeah, and then I'm coming out and I'm going to be grumpy about interruption.
Shut the fuck up and go back in.
Right. Realize these things about your partner in the early stages of dating. This is within what I call the 6-date rule. Realize the mood of your partner. Is he a morning person? Does he want to have a conversation in the morning? Is he an evening person and he prefers to have a lovely dinner with you without cell phones? Is he a night person that when he wants to go to bed, he wants to zone out and go to bed? It is not time for pillow talk. Have that in the morning with him. And then evaluate, can you live with that?
Mm-hmm. Well, and be honest about it. Not can you tolerate it. Not can you get through it. Not can you suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Can you seriously handle this? Because
yeah,
welcome to the world of relationships and dating. If one need to know, of like it really is match shit luggage.
Right.
Does our matched shit luggage go together?
Right.
Like, it's a collection of luggage and baggage and bullshit and horrible things about human beings 101 that isn't horrible. It really isn't. It's like, if this is the worst, like, baggage is never horrible. Baggage isn't abusive. Like, catch that and understand. That's not baggage. That's unattended bag in the airport of your relationship. That is not to go on a plane of a relationship. That is to get, a bomb diffusion crew on it. That is not part of the match luggage. It never matches luggage, by the way, if you've ever noticed. No one ever buys like a matched luggage piece to put a bomb in. They always buy that weird shit. Right. But anyway, so keep that in mind. It's a matched set of luggage. Does this shit work together?
And here's another one. Define cheating. Define exclusive. Define quality time. Define your terms in your relationship.
Can we just for a moment talk about how much those seem like simple concepts, and everyone thinks they're simple concepts, and everyone gets into so much drama over those simple concepts because their definition is different.
Yes.
Like,
there's a reason. There's a reason. And we've had arguments over defining the word cheating.
Well, yeah. Like, I think you're still appalled with mine. Like, I'm
not appalled by your term of cheating.
No, I think you struggle with it, though. I literally think you do sometimes because, here's my thing. Jealousy is a hard thing to hit in me.
No, it isn't.
What? Well, it can be.
It can be, but it is not a hard thing to hit in you.
Well, now that you know the roadmap to it, is what I'm saying. Is like, I'm not like I can stand next to him and have people flirt with him all day long. Nothing. I can know that people are sending him messages that are like gutter garbage porn. Nothing. I can know, I could be perfectly comfortable with he's out doing God knows what with God knows who and like whatever. Nothing. But there's a point. There's a very small little pinpoint there. In which, no. See, you hit my jealousy and my cheating button. It's a small one, but you can hit it. And yeah, it's a totally different thing. You start planning to go home, move in, otherwise start a whole new relationship with someone else without telling me and lie to me about it. Oh, you just hit a tiny little cheating button with a fucking Mack truck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I make up for the fact that you can do all these other things, and I will not, in the least, respond. But you hit that one, oh, you're going to get the whole weight and fury of all the other things you could get by with hitting you at once.
Right. And see, my term for cheating is totally different.
Yeah.
Mine is, where was my memo?
Yeah.
Secondly, the 2 times that we classify you of setting me off on the cheating thing had nothing to do with your behavior.
Now.
It has to do with that behavior of the other party.
Yep. And that's probably the worst one to deal with. Can I just point that out? Like, for him, he just has to know here's your pinpoint of behavior and action you will take that will drive me up a wall in a heartbeat. And they are clearly easily avoidable behaviors that you control. Because for him, it has almost nothing to do with me other than my lack of situational awareness that this is what someone's trying to do. And, oh, see, no. That ain't happening. And I'm like, no, they're not doing that. They're like, and you're like,
bing, bing,
yeah,
bing,
right.
bing, bing. Like, here is your case and here is your proof. Like, I don't play this what I suspect or no, I give you fucking dossier.
And I will still sit there and be like, no, like, that's not what they're doing, because here's my problem in this whole situation. And it's not that I'm naive per se. It's that like let's get real here with this. Like, my self-esteem is like constantly like bargain basement, like fire sale value.
Yeah.
Like, down here, I do not walk around the world instantly assuming that everyone's trying to get into a relationship with me. I do not feel like I am God's gift to humanity at all, ever, for any reason. So, like, one, you tell me someone's like, trying to start something with me, and I just giggle because I think that's hilarious. And you can present me with evidence, and I'm just still sitting there like, what? No.
Yeah.
Why? They could do so much better than me.
Bullshit. But no, the 2 instances, I'll go into a black hole. That bitch better never cross my path again, because her ass is grass. Because she caused so much fucking trouble.
Well, whatevs. But like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I will sit there. You can tell me all the road signs and like flashing neon signs. The billboard is here. Exit. There. And I'm just like, no. Like, that is not what is happening.
Yeah, I can be the Google map going, you are going to drive into a lake that you don't want to go into. You're diving into a lake that I suggest you stop. Yeah, Aeson will hit the roof, raise the roof, and redefine the ground that the roof sat on before the moment notice. Yeah. Episode 2 had nothing to do with the behavior. It had to do with, A, I didn't get a memo, and B, you didn't like what occurred.
True.
That was
I missed some memos along the way. As in, I didn't get memos of some things that were going on along the way. And then I figured out someone's intentions, and I went, oh shit.
Yeah.
I have walked myself into a situation. I would like to exit quickly, please. What the fuck is this? Because fundamentally, like, to actually get me to understand, I am like 2 rungs above smack me in the head and drag me to the cave. As for what makes me understand, you are interested in me. Like, until, like, and I'm talking like just a couple rungs off of that, of being clubbed in the head and dragged back to the cave. You know, like, part of me wishes that were still a thing. It would be easier for me to understand.
Yes, but
everything else I filter out with the no.
Right. And, you know, everything else, Aeson's going over here going, dear fucking God, this man is an idiot. I'm now, after Black Hole, I became aware that he is an idiot when it comes to social cues and human behavior.
On that front. And it's not idiocy. Like, I could see it for other people. I could see it for other people, but when it comes to me, like, we are talking about, like, a charcoal filter over a bed of sand over, like, you know, a few miles of depth to get that information in. When it finally hits, though, it's like, oh, shit.
Right. And see, that's what happened with that other situation, and we'll call that one problem child number 1. Is he didn't realize that he had someone that came into his life and totally just wrecked his life every time this person entered.
Yeah.
Targetedly. He would get happy, they would come in and enter. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. It's nice you've entered my domain. You are within my solar system. That's cute. You will not be an asteroid. Matter of fact, when you're done doing your damage, I'm going to reconfigure my universe to ensure that you aren't allowed back in my zip code.
Well, yeah. But no, I just, like, there's a certain level of obliviousness. Like, Brenda saying I'm as oblivious as Joe, and Ashley's like, I'm with ya. But no, it, like, I get this about myself. Like, it is the most fucked up thing. Because I can know it. Like, we can sit and talk about it. He can explain it all day long. I'm still little bunny foo-foo hopping through the forest going,
and what have I told you before? Because I gave you warnings on both of them.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, he'll handle it, basically, is what it boils down to. Like, you know, because I'm sitting there like, like, nope, that is not what is happening. That is not my reality. That is not what happens to me. Like, that is not.
No. Yeah, and I've had you tell me, like, no, that ain't going to happen. I'll be like, watch
it. Yeah.
I can read that. And it's it's not a psychic ability. It is a study of human nature. And I'm like, watch this behavior. He's going to do A plus B equals C. And then when I get to D, your ass is going to be in damn shit trouble. Nuh-uh. Boom. Within a week.
Yeah. Well, and I think everyone has that issue with their partners, spouses, significant others, etc. Is there are some things that, like, that is a blind spot for them. And there is no amount of data or information you're going to give them that is going to elucidate the situation, other than to know it exists.
Right.
That they have this blind spot. That they just cannot see this thing. No matter how hard.
Yep. And, you know, it's like with Joe. He calls me the dossier keeper because I have dossiers on everybody in my life. I can tell you what they like, what they don't like. I can tell you normally what their next 4 chess moves are going to be.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like some of that isn't like you. There are some things that I have particular skills in that, yeah, I can tell you what follows. I can sit here, I can look at it, I can tell you the impending whatever. Like joyous occasion or train wreck, I can sit here and see it a mile off. Most of them are professional. Like, there are situations and I'll give away one of my secrets. If I have used the words, that's a choice that you can make, that is my rattlesnake warning of, you need to listen and listen carefully, because I know what comes after this. And you're not going to like it.
Right.
And it's a choice you can make. I don't advise it, and here's why. But if you decide to do that, please feel free to give me a call. And about
right. But also with that, I have mine, and these are things you've got to learn with partners. I have my statement of, I don't care. And I don't care. I don't care means I have tired of this conversation. I have made my point of view clear. You know exactly what I expect out of you. I expect it to be done by 5 o'clock Sunday. And I don't care means do what the fuck ever. It's not an investment for me. Or I set clear boundaries. Example. He has a connection. He wants to go explore the connection. Great. But the connection has problems that I see immediately. And I'll normally set my ground rules. And this is something we have both developed, and people need to develop this in relationships. He wants to go work in California for 6 months on a project. Wonderful. I require a paid off credit card that allows me to cover emergencies. And also, you need to plan at least 3 trips in that back home. So include that in your budget.
Well, yeah, and that's like that's not even on our current radar, but if that were the situation, yeah.
Yeah. Set expectations. Joe, and that's because Joe needs expectations.
Well,
Partners
I need
expectations.
To know, I really need to know, where is it, what do you want?
Right.
I don't like guessing games. I do fundamentally, as an actual game, love guessing games. Password is amazing. But if I have to sit here and play whack-a-mole while, for instance, trying to work, I'm sorry, I'm going to work and we'll sort out whack-a-mole later.
Right.
If you need certain things, I need to know what those are and when you want them. Because otherwise, I'm just going to go over here and do this. Right. And then we'll play whack-a-mole with your unstated expectations, needs, wants, and desires later.
Right. But that is a thing and a tool that we put into place almost immediately. And that's a tool that people need to put into place. If you want your boyfriend to call you every day and you have a preferred time, example, I love hearing from my boyfriend at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right as I'm waking up out of bed if he's not home. That's a wonderful expectation. Don't expect him to automatically mind read it. He's dating a psychic and he still has to tell me what he wants.
Yeah. Well, and fundamentally, it's one of those things. It's hi. I find it interesting, and you run into this client-wise a lot. You have a client, they're dating someone, they're in a relationship, they're not having their needs met. And then you're sitting there going, did you tell them that's something you want? Well, no. And it's because they've made the assumption these are universal. That, it's part of the default, setting for, a significant other of any gender, that this is what you're going to do.
Right.
And they never actually explicitly said, you know what, these are the things I would like.
These are the things
things that make me happy. These are the things that I need to feel secure in our relationship and to whatever. and give someone the opportunity to go, that's not me, and walk out. Like, you know, if that's what you're looking for, fuck right on off. Or go, that's it. Like, I've been over here doing this, and this, playing relationship, need, want, and desire, whack-a-mole, trying to figure out what the fuck. And you're telling me all I had to do was like these 4 things and like you're good. What the hell?
Yeah.
You know, like you want to talk about growing needs and resentments in a relationship, finding out that there's like 5 key things I need you to do. When you've been playing need, want, and desire whack-a-mole, oh, I will specifically say for me, that's always been a moment of like, why didn't you just tell me that in the beginning? And every fucking time what someone will say is, well, I shouldn't have to. You should know that. Really? How? Tell me how. Tell me how.
Right.
Tell me how.
Well, and you know, and it's one of those, and this is one that I hit often in relationships. Life situations change. Needs change, wants change, desires change, life changes. You need to go in there and renegotiate. We have renegotiations often.
Well, and then there's also sometimes you have to accept there's a one-off. Like, everyone has that one-off day. Like, where, like, either A, like, the needs are just different today. Here's my needs today. Like, this is not carte blanche, do this in the future, but here's my needs today. You know, and like whatever they are, here they are. These are my expectations for today. This is like a one-time deal. You know, it may never happen again. If you are enjoying of any of these things, we need to talk about that, and that may occur again. Or, you know, like, I just need you to do this today, and then tomorrow we'll go back to normal standard programming. Like, and I think a lot of people end up in that.
Right.
And in which they just like, yeah, 99.9% of this relationship, your partner is going to want the following.
Right.
But then there's that one day that, nope, that's not who they are today. Don't know what happened. They woke up different. This is what they need on that day, and you can just never expect that again.
Right.
But, you know, fulfill the need, do the thing, move on.
Right.
Like, I think that's another thing that seriously, once you have the ability to say, this is my 99.9, I think you have the ability to just look at someone and be like, but okay, here's what I need today.
Right. And I think that at times you need to do that, but this is what I need. I need X. I need to be left the hell alone today. Get out of my house. Let me go clean. Doesn't mean I want to break up with you. It means that I don't need attention right now. Especially if you're, and I love how Joe classifies things. He classifies me as an orchid. I think it's gorgeous. He classes himself as a houseplant.
Not an ordinary house plant. I'm a plastic house plant.
Right.
Like,
and once I got this analogy, I loved it. Because, yeah, I am an orchid. I am a very busy, picky, complaining, whiny, grumpy orchid.
His soil, light, and water conditions vary minute to minute.
Yes.
And it is a thing. Meanwhile, dust me twice a year and keep me away from open flames.
Yeah, but don't pour water on you.
Do what now?
Don't pour water on top of you.
Don't pour water on me, please.
Yeah, it gets very annoying.
That's a mold and mildew situation waiting to happen. Okay,
you didn't get to that point. The succulents done perfectly fine with their teaspoon of water.
But no, I'm literally the plastic house plant of, like, you know, if you want low effort, low maintenance, low requirements, I need very, very, very little. And I am perfectly happy. Perfectly happy. Dust me twice a year, keep me away from open flames. That's it. That's it.
Right.
And it can, I'm sure, feel very emotionally challenging. Like, that's it? Like, that's all I have to do. Like, where, you know, like, and for some people, I could totally get that. If the emotional investment, requirements, need, want, desire, fulfillment is dust me twice a year and keep me away from open flames, that just seems, and I can understand it. I really can. Like, that's it. That's all you need. That's like nothing else. Like, this isn't a trick. Like, this isn't some weirdo test where, like, I listen to what you say you want, and then I do what you want, and then I get smacked over the head because I didn't do what I should have known to do. Like, no, it's not a trick question. It's not a, you know.
Right. And, you know, that's where I employ one of my tactics that kind of annoy you, but I find very valuable, because for me to repeat myself multiple times is very problematic. I email. If there is an issue or a negotiable point, I email him that and go, okay, this is what I need from you, or this is what's not working. This is my solution. Let me know your solution.
Yeah. No, yeah. Love him, but those emails are annoying.
And
they're useful. Don't get me wrong. They're useful.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying they're not useful. They are. But it's one of those things that, like, you get into an argument and you finally get to the end of the argument and you go to bed, and then you wake up to the per our conversation email. Why did the orchid get email? Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? Jesus.
Yeah, but it saved you a lot of time in the future. And can you hand the personal assistant cigarettes, please? Since you're not seeing our private.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I see it now.
That's cute. But no, follow up on conversations. When there's been an argument or there's been a discussion, because there's a difference. For me, I have multi-level. I have a discussion. I have a directive. Then I have an argument about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, we have different terms for semi-similar things.
Right.
I have an expression, which is, this is what I would like. Then I have a request. And then I'll go for a while. And then there's the come to Jesus meeting. It is an intervention for your health, welfare, and safety. And if you choose not to take the option that we have laid out in front of you, then I can't be part of this anymore. Like, that come to Jesus is your last moment. Like, it is intervention style. Like, it doesn't happen often. That is not an everyday thing with me. Like, this is why I'm a plastic houseplant. This is you exposed me to open flame. Let me tell you how that's not working for me.
Right. And my come to Jesus, my explosion moments have happened. Once? Yeah, once in this relationship. And that was over something that it's like, oh no, we are not fucking putting up with this. I will not go through this roller coaster again. I know this is Ferris wheel. I don't like it.
No. And I get that. And but everyone has a different version of it. That's what I've mostly found is everyone has a different version. And then you have those people who will just sit and suffer through it. Just endlessly. 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. They'll bitch about it to their friends. They'll whine about it to their coworkers. They'll, talk about it long after that person has died. And it's like, but then you realize they never did anything with that, with the person causing the problem.
Exactly.
Or that fundamentally whose behavior was problematic. They just bitch whine to anyone but them.
Right.
And like, I know some people have this mindset that it's like, that's just how they deal. And I'm going, but do you see how broken that is? Like, could you just one time look at that person in the face and be like, I love you, but I hate this. What do you have for me that would change, moderate, or differentiate that in any which way, shape, or form? Just one time. Like, you know what I mean? Or, like, because there's a lot of people that think that's just who someone is. They have to have something to bitch about. They have to have something to complain about. They have to, like, there are those people, but then there are those people that, like, they just think that's what they do.
Right.
Like, they're not a plastic house plant even. They're just a doormat.
Right.
That no one ever replaces.
Right.
Like,
and that's
or cleans,
something else.
Or puts on a, proverbial banister and beats the dirt out of. Like, I don't mean beat your spouse. I just mean, like, it never gets cleaned. It's that ugly, decaying doormat. That's where they are emotionally. They just take it forever.
Right. And see, that's just it. People have to learn that relationships are continual negotiational contracts. All right, so Ashley had a question. Let's take that, and then we'll do the "Are you an asshole?"
Oh, we have one? What? Wait.
Well, it's not exactly "Are you an asshole?" but it was close to it.
Okay. So, yeah, way back up. So, Ashley, 82696. What numbers do you see around me? Also, will my income review complete in my favor?
Let me take a look here. Now, I'm going to use the Native Spiritual deck. You guys, if you want this deck, it's a gorgeous deck. If you're a tarot reader, get this deck. There will be a link in the description and the show notes for you to get this deck. All right, Miss Ashley, let's see. Numbers. I get 13, 37, 15. Now, let's take a look at this income review. It comes in your favor, but damn, it's a pain in the ass to do. We have the devil showing up here feeling like you feel locked in, enslaved. We also have here a very interesting Six of Cups that reminds you, keep it simple. Don't be telling them things they don't need. Then we have the Empress, which means abundance comes your way.
Alrighty. And Ashley, she said essentially be on the doormat thing, and that hurts. And I gotta say, realize all these are things that you choose.
Right.
And I really want to talk to that for a second. Like, when we say make good choices, we really mean it. Like, please choose better. You deserve better. I don't care who you are. I know, like, we sit here and joke about my inability to tell someone is fucking hitting on me. I just can't. That is a blind spot I have. But when it comes to emotional fulfillment, like, there's tools for that.
Right.
There's tools for that. Choose those tools. Use those tools. Work those tools. Because otherwise, all you get, if you don't do that, is this constant, never-ending shit. Like, that doormat is, like, in front of the door that leads off the yard where, like, 50 Pomeranians shit every day for decades, and no one ever picks it up. It is a shit pile. And
now, I've got homework for everybody. especially those building or rebuilding relationships. You've heard me comment before about our negotiations or our renegotiations. One of those things was actually something I took in a life coaching class, and it's called a manual to me. And it's where you sit down and write out what you need. He gets these emails often. And it comes back from that manual to me of, I need communication. I need to know what's going on in your world. I don't have to be a part of that, but I need to know it. I need to know when you're feeling valued and trusted and loved and cared for, but I also need to feel valued, trusted, loved, and cared for. I need this interaction. I need you to come in and check and see if I need coffee. I need you to remember when my meds run out so that you can pre-order them for me, because I have delegated this responsibility to you. I need you to pick up my dry cleaning, run to the sheets at 4 o'clock in the morning for espresso. These are the things I need. These are when I need them normally. Like, he best be ready and stocking up for Valentine's Day the whole freaking weekend of Valentine's Day. That is the 12th through the 16th for all those involved. To be the houseplant, but also take care of his orchid. Bring me the coffee. Like, have the coffee pods here. We're planning dinners that I don't have to cook. We're streamlining my content. We're streamlining all this other stuff because that's my busiest time next to Halloween of the year. He already knows this. He got this the first 2 years of our life. I told him, I said, choose Valentine's Day for you and choose Valentine's Day for me, because February 14th is not my Valentine's Day. It is my work day. We settled on March 14th is my Valentine's Day.
No, March 13th. No, you're December. Never mind. March 14th. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a whole joke behind that. He loves it. It's great.
Yes.
But no, it's just, and here's the thing though, I don't need much. Emotionally, what I need, I am a plastic house plant. I don't need much. I don't need it to be big.
No.
Now there's also terms and conditions with that. Like, show up with roses, that's the beginning of our end, not the beginning of a great night.
Yeah.
Like, that's how Joe ends up going to jail. Because I do not respond well to roses ever.
No, you respond better to white tigers, lilies, or stargazers. And you also really like daisies for some reason. But
I would respond well to poison ivy in a vase.
No, you don't.
Compared to roses.
Not with your sensitive skin.
I know, but compared to roses.
I know. But these are things that you have to talk out and lay out within those 6 dates. Any relationship can be built on 6 dates, not overnights, dates, or destroyed in 6 dates. And those are important. Long-term couples, best tip for you, take a date night every 7 days. That is no children, no cell phones, no social media, no pics of it. Date night. Make him go and drive around the block if he works from home to pick you up.
Oh.
Date night.
And if he pulls up in front of the house and just hits the horn,
have a conversation.
But no, I think there's a number of things that, when you talk about them, I just have to wonder sometimes, do you have clients that start laying out their problems and then, they get it?
Yes. I have.
Where it's just I just had to verbalize this, and then when I did...
Yeah. No, it's not a lot, Ashley. Let me explain date night. Date night is an hour and a half time in a 7 days cycle. It can be dinner, lunch, whatever, but it's time for you and your partner to communicate with each other. Not about work, not about kids, not about family.
Well, and as much like, and also realizing where you are, like economically, what you can do. Like,
Right.
this does not have to be a recreation of a moment on The Bachelor.
Right.
Or, whatever. That is not what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Date night can happen for an hour and a half between 11 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. when the kids are asleep,
Mm-hmm.
upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
downstairs, or 3 rooms over,
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of your, like, horrible living room,
Mm-hmm.
that involves, like, food you cooked,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you have the clear delineation
Mm-hmm.
that this is what this is,
Mm-hmm.
and that it is not, we just fucking finally made dinner at like 11 o'clock at night.
Right. Here's a
Like,
great
we
example.
make it a thing.
It's not me and him. This is another interesting one. Coolest date night I've had in a month. So I installed the McDonald's app because I'm tired of the drive-thru and I am tired of trying to explain to a cashier what I want on my sandwich. I got a message, and it was a date night with my other partner, a date day because we do lunch, and it was buy one get one free Happy Meals. Cool. So I hit that, took the coupon. We went, picked up Happy Meals, went to the park and sat for about an hour. Ate our Happy Meals, conversated about our Happy Meals, conversated about the stress I've been feeling at work and how, this and this is going on. And they talked about how they've been feeling about at home and how they need to get out more, those things. And then we talked about our relationship with each other. Ate our Happy Meals, came home and had a great day. Whole
Mm-hmm.
date cost me, including gas, $4.32. I'm a cheap date. Best date we've had in a while.
Yeah. Again, it sometimes it isn't about the money. It isn't about where you're at. It isn't about all these things. It's not a material thing you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing wrong
Mm-hmm.
with a date night that costs $1,200.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a date that costs $30,000. There's not anything wrong with a date that costs $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting what you need out of it,
Mm-hmm.
the money isn't the part that mattered. What you did, where you went, what you ate isn't what mattered.
Mm-hmm.
It's about getting what you need out of it and being focused on that as part of your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can have an amazing date night with, like, fridge leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Chicken
like,
salad, sandwiches, and a time to the local park is amazing.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on the back porch
Mm-hmm.
could be amazing. Like, everyone, like, it's not where you're at, it's what you're doing.
Right. But the point of date night is it's a focus on you as a human, they as a human. What do you need from this human? What does that human need from you? What is going on with that human that they haven't had time to share because they've been dealing with the baby and the baby walking and tripping over shit and the boss being an ass and the doctor being on their ass and blah, blah, blah. No, it's you and them talking about the inner connections of the relationship. Date night's an easy thing to write on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so about making the time and having the opportunity and doing the things.
And getting
that's
out
it.
of the standard.
Yeah, well, and getting your mind out of the standard. That this is
Mm-hmm.
not time to bitch about the kids and bitch about this and bitch about that and bitch about money and bitch about this.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Like, this is about connection, not about all the fucking things that disconnect you.
Right. Now let's go into complaining.
Yes.
If you need a change to occur, you need to give it a positive. Here's an example. Real easy example. Mm-hmm. I kept feeling left out of somebody's schedule of things. I didn't really need to be in that schedule of things. I just needed to be acknowledged. So I tell them, I really like X. I really like when you check in on me in the office before you go to bed. But I really want you to knock off this nesting in bed when I'm trying to go to sleep. Can you just change that? Like, we need to shift this a little bit to make it better for me.
Okay.
Houseplant says okay. Other one says, oh, I didn't realize I was nesting in my room. I'll start checking in on you more. Okay. No argument. Why? Because you told them what you liked, the behavior you liked, and you wanted to see more of, and the behavior that was bothering you.
Well, and I think sometimes we often filter through a lens of if something is bothering you, that it must have some deep-seated, like, reasoning, logic, etc. behind it in the other. Like, it goes back to your, like, 6 generations later, everyone's cutting the end off a roast because that's what you do. Only to find out the only reason that anyone ever did that is because the roast didn't fit the pan. It was simple, pragmatic practicality. That's, it worked. I didn't know it affected anyone. It was like, at no plan did grandma cutting the end off her roast to make it fit the pan ever think that 6 generations later someone was going to have to do like a
repurposing of roast cooking.
Yeah, to understand what the hell and why that happened.
Well, here's another example, and this has got on your nerves forever. If there is not a hamper, Aeson will make a pile of clothes. So now we own 8 hampers because there's 8 locations that Aeson changes clothes at.
Like, and it like, y'all don't even know. Like, he talks about me eating over the sink and this, like, straight boy mentality I've got. Let me tell you.
I don't say straight boy. I say single man mentality.
Well, single man, excuse me. Behavior. Let me tell you, there are moments I am like, are you 15? Who the fuck forgot to finish raising you? Like, what the hell? How did you make it to the age that you are? Going and dating the number of people that you have, which is greater than number of 1. How did you get to this point in your life? And I just feel like I've walked into the room of a 15-year-old. How?
Right. But it's because I see the bedroom as a different situation. When Aeson goes to the bedroom, he's tired. Bedrooms are for sleeping.
Yep.
Like,
but he does. I will say, you very much will treat a bedroom like a teenager would. Like, it is very just, it is a hole where you go and you sleep and you wake up and leave the hole. Like, that's it. That's it. It doesn't matter what the hole looks like. It doesn't matter the thread count on the hole's mattress. It does not matter.
Actually, I've gotten pickier about my sheets.
You have, but I'm saying originally, your default was like, this is a hole that I sleep in. Like, you don't care where the hole is. You don't care what's in the hole. You don't care. Like, none of that registers. None. Because that, like, none of it matters.
Right.
To you at all. And it does lead, like, coming in from the outside of it, it's like, who the fuck forgot to finish raising you? You don't, like, humans don't live like this. This is not a thing. Like, you want sexy time later? Let me tell you, when my 4-poster bed has, like, underwear hanging off a poster and, like, a pile of clothes I have to climb over, by the time I get to the bed, I, like, any idea of sexy time has left the building. It's like, clean this shit up, because I'm not a pedophile. I ain't looking to, like, screw a 15-year-old here, okay? None of what you're doing in that space is a turn on. Like, clean it up. Make me feel pretty. Like, I know I'm a plastic plant, but this is a thing. Like, even the plastic plant doesn't want to be on an episode of Hoarders. Okay?
But at the same time, in the consolations of this is we traded off. I pick up, some habits from him. He picks up some habits from me.
Like, yeah, there's an adjustment.
And then there is, like, problem, situational, creational fixes. I.e., we bought 8 hampers because it was like, okay, where do the clothes piles appear? Oh, they appear where we need hampers at. Okay, we put in hampers.
Well, more importantly, problem easily solved by putting a hamper right there. Like, if that's where you're going to drop everything, then let's just put a hamper there.
Yeah.
Because minimal effort. Like, I don't care. Like, if we had to put one on the front porch because he's going to strip off there, I don't care.
Honey, you better be glad I'm not nursing, or we would have done plasticated that porch by now in black plastic, and there would be a hamper there. Like I'm surprised I don't see more of them.
I know, but here's what I'm saying. I literally do not care if our neighbors see him butt-ass naked on our front porch. That's what I just said, and I know I said that. That I don't give a shit about that. What would bother me more is that I can't open the front door because there's a pile of his dirty clothes in front of the door. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's my level. I don't care where we've got to put a hamper. Like, if he's going to do the behavior, I don't care. Like, we'll put it in the middle of the living room. If that's where you're going to strip off and drop your clothes, there's going to be a hamper there, because I can deal with a hamper full of dirty clothes better than a pile.
Right.
Way better.
Right. Because, and it's that negotiational trade-off. It's like, eating over the sink. Fine. If you're going to eat over the sink, then I'm going to give you things that are finger food. He gets celery sticks. He gets cookies. He has gotten muffins all the past 2 months. He's going to have sandwiches. He's not going to be sitting there eating chicken Alfredo that I spent 3 hours making over top of my kitchen sink. He can go sit down for that.
Or I can stand there. Like, I have proven there is no limit to what I will eat cold out of a fridge standing over a sink. There are no limits.
And I have to give you credits, but I kind of play you on this. You don't eat ravioli over the sink.
No, I do not. No.
I also don't buy ravioli.
Well, yeah, you don't. Well, more importantly, you don't buy canned ravioli.
Right.
Because let me tell you, low effort houseplant, I theoretically would. Like, if that's all I can lay hands on, I will open a can of Chef Boyardee, grab a damn fork, and I'm eating over the sink. And you're lucky I am, uncultured swine enough to grab a fork. Because let me tell you, if they're all dirty, I will be drinking ravioli out of a can over the sink.
Oh, Madison's got a question. What you got, Madison?
All right, Madison, 12/15/2001. Oh God, you're legal. You're a baby. Does Diego have good intentions, or is he just stringing me along?
Let me take a look here.
We like it when we actually get dates of birth that we have to stop and do the math real quick. Like,
I know.
because
I love
it's
watching those
closer.
numbers work for you.
I know. It's like, no, can't drink.
All right. Looking at this, Madison. Ooh. He has great intentions for a long-term relationship. He's not stringing you along, but damn, is he going through shit. Like, honey, this man needs a vacation. The amount of shit he's having to clean up. I feel you entered his life when things were chaotic and he hadn't done any housekeeping. So he's doing that. So he's not stringing you along. He's just fixing things. And men do that. It's kind of like our house. I didn't repaint our house until he moved in.
Oh, do you really want to get on the topic of the house?
No. Not tonight.
Okay,
we're
because I'm
already
going to
almost
say
2.5 hours in.
I know. I'm just saying, like, that's a topic in and of itself. But can we go into a smaller subset topic?
Sure.
That is also in that vein of, like, the behind the scenes of a psychic.
Mm-hmm.
Can I explain something to y'all? We joke about the mechanic's wife thing on my side of his computer's not getting fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell y'all, you can call him and he will tell you all kinds of great information, advice, psychic guidance, tarot readings all day long.
Mm-hmm.
He will.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will hang up that phone. He will finish that email. He will close out that Zoom session. And he will act just like you. He will, like you would think every moment of my life would be related to, a clairvoyancy, a psychic spirit guide interaction, to a tarot card reading. It is not.
No.
He bumbles through life like you did before you called him. And he just goes on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He just goes on for a while before it occurs to him, I feel like I've made a wrong turn somewhere. And I maybe should figure out what I'm doing wrong. And like, he has his own call Aeson moment for psychic, guidance, advice, clairvoyancy, or tarot reading, or tea leaf reading, or whatever he decides he needs at that moment.
Honey,
yes.
Love you.
Yes.
I'll be back.
Okay. So yeah, he does. He, like, it's a thing. So please don't think that when you're calling, like, your psychic advisor, that they cannot relate to you and your experience because you think that they have all the answers for their life too. They do, but they don't consult themselves as much as you would think they do. Like, they are also bumbling through life going, I don't, like, understand, before they take the time to actually take care of, oh yeah, maybe I should take a moment and, like, put on my own mask before I try to help others with their mask. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that one for a split second. Because I do find it interesting, because I've seen that moment where sometimes you do realize someone's struggling because they feel like their psychic advisor must have this amazing, wonderful life because they have all the answers. Not how it works. It's just like when a mechanic has a shitty car. They have a shitty car and they can deal with it because they have all the tools to deal with it. They know what the problem is. They know what that sound is. They know what this is. They can replace that part in 15 minutes or less, and they still drive that car every single day.
Well, not only that, but the other thing is psychics have to understand what they're reading on. So my spirit guide says, yeah. So, yeah, so you went through that. You understand what it feels like to have a cheating husband, or you understand what it is to have a dick boss, and this is how you got through it. So, yeah, you're going to see that. You're going to probably read on that. Like, I get a lot of stalker readings.
Oh, yeah.
Honey, that's because we're not designed to.
Well, no. And there's also that thing where and I could understand this if someone has it. I'm just going to put it out there. Like, you see you're in a relationship, you have ignored every red flag. Every red flag. Like, your friends have tried to tell you, your family's tried to tell you, you're having stress and anxiety, your body is trying to tell you, your dreams are trying to tell you, all of this is trying to tell you, you're ignoring it because it's good at the moment and you just want it to keep being that way because you feel like you need this. Don't ever think you're calling any psychic anywhere ever that hasn't done the same damn thing. In which they have every tool available to them. They could have done a reading on him. They could have done a reading on her. They could have done a reading on them and known ahead of time this shit wasn't going to work out. They don't do it either. They ignore it too. They enjoy what they have at the moment instead of like listening to the inner voice says, you done fucked up. Oh, you done fucked up. You done fucked up. I will say that as the spouse of, or the significant other of, when we get together, the significant others, and we talk about them, because we do. We do. We talk about our psychic significant other. We do. It's fucking hilarious. The things, y'all would find it hilarious. The things that we sit there and realize, it's like, physician, heal thyself. They have the ability, they choose not to use it. Like, and sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's worse. Like, sometimes you sit there and go, you spent how many years with that dumb son of a bitch ex of yours? And in 5 minutes, you could have done a fucking tarot reading and known to get the fuck out.
But, you and the husband brigade, one of these days, will have to do a video. And to answer Ashley's question, who's my psychic? I don't have one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You don't.
No. Victoria died, so I don't call a lot of psychics. When I have issues I want to take to the psychic world, I'll ask my guide. But a lot of times I get the answer of, well, you'll see.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the problem too, is you're not, like, it doesn't work the same. Like, it hits different. And there's also a thing of, like, I have noticed that when psychics go to a psychic, that's a different kind of psychic.
Yeah.
That's not always your mainstream. Like, some of them are not people you want dealing with clients.
Yeah.
Like, that's a psychic for psychics. You don't want your standard, like, walk up to an event, pay your money, 3-card reading, call up on a network. Like, you do not want this person doing that. They are going to get 1 star straight to hell because they hit like a fucking Mack truck because they are built and designed for other psychics.
Right.
Because you have to do that. It's like when therapists see therapists.
Now, I will tell you guys the one I am booking a reading with. Where is her? Ooh. Her schedule's got to open up, and so does mine. But Kobe, me and her going to have a conversation.
Corby.
Corby Midler. If you are a psychic, if you are wanting to get into the psychic world, The Psychic Brick Road, I love this book. This is the top one on my shelf. And yeah, me and her are going to have a reading.
Because I think she is experienced enough, and just from talking to her, I think her psychic, like, yeah, I'm just going to, like, bang you in the head with this because you're a psychic and you're not going to fucking listen to, like, anything nice that I say. I can't deliver a nice message to you because that's not going to work. Like, I think she has the skill and ability to be like, okay, look, let's cut the bullshit. You're going to project things into this. I have to filter those out. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't. But I know you're going to do it because you can't help it.
Right. Well, not only that, but, okay. Guys, listen to, I don't know if you've ever seen this scene where a guy's watching a TV and someone else is watching him in a movie. The problem with the psychic getting another psychic reading without a very trained psychic that can do this, and there's probably, it takes an experience there, is they will not read me. They will read my client. My last client, my next client, the client in front of me. For that, when I used to do network tests, because there used to be network test readers, and I was one of them. Honey, I got married to a blonde chick so many damn times it ain't funny. And I knew what they were talking about, and it's like, yeah, that's a case. Can we move on to the next reading?
Like, yeah, you're in the right zip code.
Yeah.
Let's get you to the right street. Like, you're reading me, but you're reading the wrong part.
Right. Because on a spiritual level, I'm hopping and watching every client's life. And it's real easy to get caught in my vision instead of viewing me.
Well, and you also have to realize these are things that are going to be on your dashboard.
Yep.
Like, I can't talk about my life without talking about my clients on some level. Like, I just can't. Like, they're there. That's part of my experience, even though I'm not living it.
Right.
You know, I can't help that. It's the same for him. And you talk about, like, doing, like, what's your average daily reading count?
I'm up to 32 a day on average.
Yeah. On average. Yep. Then you have high demand days. What's that number more like?
Super Bowl Sunday for me is 100 readings.
Yeah. So, like, if you're dealing with that, with like 32 to 100 readings in a given 24-hour period, you're gonna, even in the 32, hit some clients that stick with you. That reading sucked. Their life sucks. I hate that bastard that they're dating. I hate their boss for them. It's going to stick.
Right.
There's no way around it. Professionally, we all have that. Like, we have clients that we get, you know, drug into, so to speak. Like, I'm going to be very careful what I say here. I have a client, wonderful client. I love her dearly. I do. She is a phenomenal client. She really is. And if she were to ever see this, I want her to know that. She has a life situation that is very painful for me. And it sticks with me. I can't go see her or work with her without being part of that.
Right.
In a sense.
Right.
And it sticks with me.
Right.
I don't hate her. I can't even say I hate her situation. I understand her situation. It's just very emotionally painful. And I know that because I've lived it.
Right.
That one sticks with me.
Right.
And every time I go, I have to remember that. that I have to separate the work that I'm doing from the life situation she's in. Because I can fix the tech. But part of me wants to also fix that situation and help her in some other way that would help her to feel better, because I know the emotional pain she's going through on some level, not entirely. Because it is different, but there's some similarities of things I've gone through that I've experienced. I know what that's, sort of like. It doesn't make me dislike her any less, or like, I don't dislike her as a client. I love her as a client. I love to see her, but I also know that's going to be part of it. That sticks with me. And it's the part that, like, that's not my job. That's not my thing. That's not what I do, but it's still going to be there. I think we all do that.
Yeah.
But, well, and I can also throw in, like, while I was volunteering, I had a woman that she will stick with. Let me tell you, from volunteering, there are people that stick with me. They're stuck in my brain. I will never forget them. Some are joyous and some are fun. Some of them, I'm going to worry till the day I die. Because, like, hospitals are places that almost demand a certain level of high emotion, stress, and or draw in by the nature of, why are you here? Well, it's not always a good reason. You're not there for your vaccination and, to find out you don't have cancer. Like, that's what it is. That's a hospital. And you run into people and they stick with you. Like, you want to know the rest of the story. I'm never going to know. I have to accept that, but I still think of them. And I wonder about them. And I'm sure that happens for a lot of psychics too, that you just have that client that will never call you back. Not because they hate you, not because you gave them bad advice, not because of anything negative. They called you one time, and that was all it was ever going to be. And hopefully they got what they needed and got out of the situation they were in. But then you're never going to know.
Exactly. All right. So, and they stick with you. I have clients that I follow up with, that I do pro bono work with, just because of their situations. All right. So let's do a sip, and then let's do the "Are you an asshole?"
All right. Well, I don't think this was exactly, because it isn't. It's not exactly an asshole.
It's
because
what do you do?
What do you do? And hopefully I've got the right article. Otherwise, this is going to be interesting. But dad sends daughter his oral same-sex video by mistake.
That's the right one. We have this happening a lot in today's world. Go into it, darling.
Yeah. So this comes from Edge Media Network, and they are actually quoting off of a story by the Daily Star. And they start with, in what appears to reflect one of those awkward moments on Euphoria, a woman is asking for help via Reddit after her father sent her a video of him being serviced by a younger man. So here's what she has to say. Quick backstory. My dad, 59, and my mom, 59, were married for 27 years and abruptly divorced 4 years ago. He moved to a different city about 30 minutes away. He has had 2 roommates who are younger men. About 3 months ago, I, 27 female, made the discovery that my dad was gay with one of his 22 male younger tenants. I made this discovery on accident, and I didn't mention it to my dad. I'm pretty sure he knows I know, though. At first, I was extremely shocked, but as long as my dad is happy, I love and accept him and whoever he chooses to love. Yesterday, I received a video text from my dad. I am on vacation visiting my in-laws, so I didn't view it right away. When I sat down to look, it was a video of his roommate performing oral sex on him. My heart sank and I feel sick to my stomach. Obviously, no one wants to see their parent like this, and it was deeply disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, help. What do you do with that? How do you is where she's at. Because that's basically where the story trails off.
Right. So
that's a lot to unpack.
I know. So we're going to unpack in a suitcase probably what is more a steamer trunk. Topic 1 is if you get a text message that isn't for you, and these happen in work situations, Lord knows I've gotten them in friend situations, other things, address it. I believe this wasn't meant for me. Send. Email. All that. I believe this wasn't meant for me. Send. Text message. Mm-hmm. Facebook Messenger. Step 2. With her learning about this, go, I like him. I don't like him. I think that he would be better with you if you guys came around more often. I'd like to meet him. I'd like to talk to him. Mm-hmm. Show that you're perfectly fine with said situation, even though you found out with it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say that when you address it, don't do it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
The impulse is there, but let me tell you what's going to happen.
Right.
This is going to be a moment of panic.
Right.
There's no way that's not a moment of panic.
Right.
But here's what's also happening. You have unsorted emotions in that immediacy.
Mm-hmm.
You have lots of feelings and thoughts and ideas, and you have a shitty, rough draft that you need to work out first.
Right.
So do deal with it. Do address it. Wait a minute. Breathe. Yeah. Process it. Get your brain back together. Because that's brain scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
Would be for anyone.
Right.
Because this sounds like someone who actually legit is like, okay, my dad just scrambled my brain really bad, but he's my dad and I love him and I want to, I'm not looking to throw him out of my life, but the things going on in my head right now, I'm not cool with.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, wait, take a minute, take a breath, get your brain together, breathe through it.
Right.
Get yourself in a place that you can deal with the fact that he's going to be panicked.
Right.
And then try to work through it there, which is tell him what you need him to know.
Right.
So that panic can get abated.
Mm-hmm.
While also leaving room for his scrambled brain to also calm the fuck down so he can have this conversation like a mature, reasonable adult that he is. So that you're not sitting here with intense emotional brain scramble turmoil running both sides of a conversation.
Right.
Yeah. That would be my biggest thing there is, this is a shitty thing that happens. We see it more and more. It's gonna happen.
Right.
It's also a reminder. Sometimes you find out who you are as a human in these moments.
Right.
Because this is an accident, but there's also going to be moments that, like, you send messages to people that you're talking about to them directly.
Right.
And you need to be very cognizant of how do I talk about someone else? Who am I as a human being?
Right.
And what is that message that I accidentally sent to someone?
Right.
What does that actually say about me? And how I am willing to talk about other people behind their back. And you need to learn from that very strongly.
Right.
On a different front. We've all had that happen, or will have. If you haven't done it yet, you will. And let me tell you, it will tell you a lot about how you talk about other people.
Right.
Because the amount of emotional damage that you do to someone when they accidentally get that message, you need to carry with you, because that's them finding out what you're willing to say about them behind their back, and who is that? Who does that tell people you are?
Right.
Like, you need to view that very carefully. So, watch out.
Yeah.
Like, that's my big takeaway on that one.
And my big takeaway is this a dang message of a movie. Yeah, you shouldn't have saw it. Guess what? There's a lot of things in modern day y'all guys should see. Aeson before getting his hair done is one of them, but you'll see that later this week.
Or before coffee.
That I try not to do, but the Mac computer unboxing, I hadn't gotten fully started for my day because the mail arrived before then. All right. I'm sorry, I can't do the name. You'll have to do the name. There's too many H's and L's.
I'm gonna go with Leah. Lila Leah. We need a date of birth, dear.
And a question.
And a question. No general readings.
Yes.
Like, we're already at 2 hours and 42 minutes. He has not got another. Leah lol. Okay. Oh, it's Leah lol. Gotcha. Sorry, got it now. The problems with trying to read and be seen. That's what we're saying. No generals.
Actually, I'll go ahead and take this. I will go ahead and take this.
Ooh, we're doing a demonstration. You are a lucky person.
3-card general. I normally do not do generals, but I'll go ahead and do general for you. All right. All right, first up out of the gate, we have the Hangman here. What are you sacrificing you shouldn't be sacrificing? You need to be working on that and deciding what the value of it is, because it isn't what it needs to be. Then we have the High Priestess here. You have secrets and you're stuck in the middle of a path. You got to work out those personal secrets to figure out what you want to do with this financial situation. Then we have the Four of Coins here. Your money is all shit, honey. You got to figure out how to balance that too. So that's a quick general. As you see, it's all over the board.
Yeah. Which is why he doesn't like them. He doesn't feel like that gives people what they really need. Like, if that helps you, that's great. But, I mean, that is psychic pin the tail on the donkey. Like, in terms of relevant information for you.
Yep.
To actually get you through the situation you're in. So, yeah. Oh, and that was... Ooh, shit.
What?
We may have just fucked up.
No, we didn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at that date of birth.
We're good.
Okay, no. That's still good. That's 19. Okay, sorry. My first processing of that was 18. It was under 18, and I went, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Sorry.
I knew we were good.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference between what you asked for, because Leah says understandable because I was going to refer to my finances. But basically what you got told was what you already knew. Your finances are shit. Wouldn't you have preferred to find out what you need to do to fix that situation? Side note, big plug for Corby Mitlid right here. The book he held up earlier, by her, which is The Psychic Yellow Brick Road. That's a really great one that will explain the difference, and what you could have gotten versus what you got. You just got confirmation that, yeah, your finances are shit because, yeah, you already knew that. What you could have gotten, like to get the most bang for your buck, or in this case, the most bang for your free reading, is wouldn't you have rather have known, what do I need to do about my finances to fix them? Now, I think he's getting ready to go ahead and do that.
I'm going to take it the next step since she gave me a little bit of direction. I think that there's another player in your finances. You need to have a conversation with them about what you need, what you don't need, and where you're at. I think you're making cuts in the wrong area. Here's an example of that. For a very long time here, we didn't do eating out. And then it basically is like, no, we need to eat out or we end up eating out anyhow. Secondly, you need to go find your passion. I don't know what the hell you're doing for a job right now, but it sucks. You need to go find what you really want to do that will actually have a better financial income because it is based on you. All right. Then you also need to nurture yourself a little bit more because what also is affecting your finances is you're not taking care of yourself. So therefore you have incidents. Here's an incident. You don't take time to plan dinner, so you eat out. You also need to look at all these little stabs and things you've put around you and be questioning if they are even worth it. Take out some of those restraints because you can do a lot more than what you think you can. And you also need to start listening to your dang self more with the two of arrows here. There's things you don't want to deal with. You ain't listening to yourself. You need to take care of that. All right, Honey Child. I hope that helped you in your finances. And y'all got seen why Aeson doesn't do general readings because you get waylaid. Especially with this deck. Like, this deck is my new soccer deck.
Yeah. And Leah, you're very welcome. Actually, you've illustrated a point that he's tried to make before, or has just constantly said, we don't do generals, get specific. He decided tonight, this is like a one-time special, I think, of let's illustrate why.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want general, it'll be general. Except with this deck, it'll be general, but it'll be heart cutting. All right. It has been a great night, guys. We have had a lot of fun. We hope you guys have. I know this was a long episode, and it was not the episode we planned, but this happens sometimes. We will be talking hot topics on Friday with Mountain Bears. There's a lot of things going on. All right, in the show notes for you podcasters, there's a link in the description. If you want to braise the Native Spirit deck, this deck I've been calling the new Cutthroat deck, go and get it. Use code Aeson Knight. You'll get 10% off. No, it's 20% off. Sorry. If you want good psychic, how to find a great psychic, you want The Psychic Yellow Brick Road by Corey Midloff. I just caught myself in something I've been doing is I've been recommending out a book. That book out, of course, for professional psychics. There is another book out there called You Are the Genie.
Yes, you dropped that one over to me, and you've got the magic. Who Needs a Genie? The A-Lister's Guide to Holistic Expo Success.
Yes, this is a kick-ass book. Also, if you are in the business, go get that book. It's on Amazon for like $4.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's worth it. Talk about a business expense you will make money from.
Exactly. All right, guys.
You can't lose. But we do want to thank our Patreon sponsors. We really do appreciate them, and we love you guys. And I'm just waiting for the list to come around because I always hate leaving someone out. I fear that. I really do, because you guys are awesome and I don't want to forget any of you. So we do want to thank for their support Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Ashley Gist, Shannon C, Shannon D, the ever wonderful Lady Gwendolyn, and Charles Shaw, and Dottie the Psychic. See, this is why I wait for the scroller. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become one of our baristas and receive all the wonderful benefits that Patreon sponsors receive, please visit PCSPnetwork.com.
Yeah. And if you made it all the way through the show, can you please just drop a comment down there in the real comment section? We guys hope you guys have enjoyed tonight. It was a blessing. Remember, we'll be back Friday at 9:30 p.m. Also, wash your hands, take care of yourself, use your good judgment, make good choices. And if you need me, I'm around for readings if you don't. Also, I will be on Wednesday night with Coffee and Tea with Dottie. This will be fun. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
This is a calm before the storm. You know what's coming, so be warned. You can't